Sup dogs, today we are playing The Deed on Christmas Eve. I did not do that on purpose, I swear. So The Deeds is a, I believe 2015 game, if not 2014. And it was a game recommended by one of my long-time viewers, excuse me. So thank you. It seemed like a very interesting game, a very Christmas-like game where you are a person in the family who got neglected in the deed to, I guess, your just past grandfather or father, and so you want your revenge to kill all your other family members so you get everything to yourself. Very Christmas-like, am I right? Alright, so without further ado, let's start a new game. Pilgrim Adventures. Found this on Steam for 50 cents. Play intro, please. F1 options, reset, Alt Enter, access menu. Okay, pretty standard. The F1 F2 is different though, but everything else is pretty standard. Scotland, November 1945. Oh, I did not expect this sort of graphics. My name is Arran Bruce, son of Malcolm Bruce, and rightful heir to Dunshiel House. I have recently discovered that my tyrant of a father intends to disinherit me in favor of my deranged younger sister. My relationship with my family is strained, to say the least. I have decided that the time has come for my sister to be removed from this ghastly equation. I intend to put her out of her misery. Unfortunately, my sister never leaves the confines of Dunshiel House, which makes the matter more complicated. I have not visited family home in quite some time. I can't bear to be in that hellhole for long. However, my presence on the night of my father's 15th birthday will cause no suspicion. 50th, excuse me again. I must choose the timing and method of the deed very carefully, because 15's, I don't know exactly when you were born. Tonight is the night. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. It's kind of spooky. It's like a reverse mystery game. Where instead... Oh, it's a stealth game. That's what it is. Instead, I'm planting all of the bloody hell, George. Who has been responsible for maintaining the gardens? He used to be Big Jack Willis, sir. He's been dead over a year now. I do a little here and there. Can't do much on account of my bad back, though. My sister hasn't offered to help you, then? Miss Jennifer isn't really the outdoor type, sir. I know, George. It was a joke. Very funny, sir. Let's go inside before the ocean comes to Dunshiel. Probably pronouncing it so wrong, and I apologize for that, but today is Dunshiel. Homecoming. Converse with your relatives and search the house for useful objects. Objects are divided into two categories: items of evidence and weapons. You will only be allowed to pick up 2 objects from around the house before dinner commences, so choose wisely. After dinner, you will have the chance to plant an item of evidence if you wish, and then commit the murder. There are many ways to do the deed, but only the cunning will succeed. But everything's like a little grayed out. I like it. It's very noir. Good evening, Mr. Arran. May I take your coat? If only I can take your dress. Wow, really? No, I think I will keep my coat. Are you sure, Mr. Arran? It looks soaked, though. Quite sure. You're new, aren't you? Sophia is my name. I recognize you from your pictures, Mr. Arran. I'm not new exactly. I've been employed by your family for almost a year. It's just that you have never visited before. I have been busy. I don't get along with my family. Just what you're trying to say. Let's be super generic. The more generic we are, the less people will have things to go off of. My work keeps me very busy, unfortunately. I understand. I've been away from my family a lot since I started this job. You are here now, and I'm sure you are eager to meet with the others. Your father's in the library, on your left, and your mother is in the parlor, which is on your right. Your sister is upstairs in her room, I think. Thank you. And where can I find you, my pretty? I know my way around my own goddamn house. Thank you. Thank you for your help, Sophia. You are very welcome, Mr. Arran. I will be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served. Try and keep things strictly business with her. I mean, If we start flirting and she flirts back, then that won't look good for her. Gotta think about others, you know. You can't leave now. There is work to be done. Oh. You recall this old grandfather clock very well from your childhood. You used to believe that if it ever stopped ticking, time itself might stop moving. Your mother has always kept the house populated with a great many plants. This is Daddy-o. This portrait is one of your ancestors date from the 15th century, if you recall your father's lessons correctly. Wow. Is that how it is, huh? I never had to sit down with my dad and be like, alright, so back in the 15th century, this was your parents. In the 16th century. Do your homework well, there will be a quiz. This ornate lamp is of no use to you. Sister, your parents' room has not changed in years. It remains a frozen time capsule of a childhood you would sooner forget. Oh, that's so sad. You get down on all fours and peek beneath your parents' bed, but find nothing under there. Itchy. Just an old chair. Apparently not. Not an old chair. The heck is happening? Oh, having a little memory, aren't I? George said you wanted to see me, Mother. Yes. Your sister will not be returning to St. Mary's this year, Arran. Her condition has become too serious. I see. Have you nothing to say besides that, Arran? No, nothing. This is precisely what I wanted to talk to you about. This silly feud with your sister must stop. Why do you think her condition keeps getting worse? Perhaps it's because you refuse to even acknowledge her? She killed Henry. For heaven's sake, Arran, it was only a rat. He was my friend. I should never have allowed you to keep it in the first place. It was... If you must blame someone, blame me. Will you forgive your sister? Never. Very well, Arran. You leave me no choice. I'll have to speak to your father about this. This house always brings back far too many memories. I'm pretty sure he grew out of Mr. Rat by now. That he was like 6 or 8 at a time. It is only once you slide the top drawer open that you remember this is where your father keeps his shotgun. The shiny barrel almost seems to call out to you. Guns are certainly noisy but efficient weapons. I mean, no. How in the world can we pin that on somebody? We don't even have gloves. You go through the wardrobe but find nothing apart from clothes and your mother's excessive collection of jewelry. This is actually kind of hard. How the hell do you pin a murder on someone? I'm not a murderer. I don't know. Are any of you guys in the comments murderers? Then do let me know. And then turn yourself in. And then your mother's blasted plants. So I'm guessing, I forgot who passed away. Was it mother then? Because father's still around. A familiar portrait of your great uncle Thomas Bruce, who was a highly respected author. Wow, everyone here is like super rich for a reason. You enter the surreal atmosphere of your sister's room. Mirrors of various sizes cover the walls, creating the eerie illusion of a crowded space. That's not something I can get into at all. So many mirrors, like that's creepy. Especially when you have like nightmares on Bloody Mary. How the hell do you like deal with this? Ornate clocks are your sister's third favorite, right behind mirrors and cruelty. There's nothing interesting on your sister's bed. Your sister is too busy staring at herself in the mirror to notice you riffling through her wardrobe. You found a pair of silky undergarments with her initials embroidered on the inside, planted in the right place. These might weave a tale of their own. I'm gonna leave it for now. Hey, sister. Aha! I thought I smelled a rat. Have you come to see me, little rat? How are you feeling? I'm not a rat, I'm your brother. It takes a rat to smell a rat. I mean, if I'm too nice, then would that be suspicious? It would be like, you know, the brother having visited home for so long, hated his sister growing up, and then comes back very nice, and then she's dead. How very, very suspicious. So in that case, let's just be very grown up about this. I'm not a rat, I'm your brother. There's no need to call me a rat, you know my name. Yes, I remember now. Your name is Rat. Ratty rat rat. You used to have a pet rat, didn't you? Remember what I did to him? Oh, how he squeaked. Such great pain for such a little creature. What did you want to talk to me about, little rats? Okay, she's a douche. Seriously, holy crap. I see you're still collecting mirrors. Mother seems very worried about you. I'm going to make you pay for everything. I just came to see how your mirror collection is getting on. How many do you have now? 73. Can you use all of them at once? Of course not. What a silly question. Are you making fun of my mirrors, little rat? You better not be. Go away. I don't want to speak to you anymore. Okay, you know what? No, I don't feel bad that you're gonna get offed. You kind of deserved it, you know? I mean, no one deserves it, but you know what I'm saying, you guys. You look at your reflection in the mirror. Funny, you don't look much like a murderer. Boom. Your dream sequence. Mother says dinner is ready. Go away, little rat. Jennifer, what are you doing? Why do you stare at your own reflection like that? Stop making fun of me. I'm not making fun. I really want to know. I just wish that... What, Jennifer, what do you wish? I wish you'd go drown in the lake. Mother is waiting for you. Alright, okay, so clearly she's the one that's a total biatch. So why in the hell is Mother siding with her, you know? My sister's obsession with mirrors goes right back to her childhood. I never did understand why. I mean, clearly she has some sort of mental condition, but... Even still, she should have some sort of, like... I don't know. Well, whatever it's called. Obedience. Something like that. You step inside your former bedroom, now a simple guest room. Most of your old furniture has vanished. Probably throw on a bonfire knowing your father. You know what? I'm kind of surprised that you were even invited here? Since your family hates you that much, there is at least one item of yours remaining in your former room. Your old fencing sword. At least this is a weapon with which you are very well practiced. You don't have time to sit around and dig up old memories. Vacant and barren. Your bedside table has been emptied of whatever items you had left behind. The clock is ticking. Okay, so clearly I have no idea how to murder someone because I kinda do not want to use a weapon at all. Although we have to totally use a weapon. Oh, I forgot I could do this. Speed walk. Oh no, I missed it. God damn it. Why does ship cancel it out? You find nothing interesting in the drawers. On top of the cabinet, however, you see a blue box marked rat poison. Okay, now this is something that can be used. But before I do, let's keep looking around. Find nothing of particular interest among the items in this cabinet of the pantry. But then again, I am a rat boy, so maybe that's a bad thing to use. There's nothing notable about this barrel. Ooh, a knife. It seems the maid has left a sharpened kitchen knife unattended. How foolish of her. You have no reason to interfere with the saucepan and crockery. Nothing, eh? There's nothing especially notable about this fireplace. Nothing about the barrel. Please don't touch that. Oh, hello, Mr. Arran. Is there something I can do for you? I want to do something about your time here. Okay, let's start this. Yes, I want to know what time dinner will be served. It won't be long, Mr. Arran. I'm preparing your father's favorite, and I want to make sure it's cooked perfectly. Take your time. I can't wait. Actually, does my father get angry if his dinner is not cooked perfectly? Please, I don't wish to speak ill of my employer. Your father is very particular about things, that's all. Trust me, I know his temper very well. I shouldn't have said anything. Please, let's not talk about this anymore. I'm sorry, I must get back to work now. I will ring the bell when dinner is ready. Oh no, I just realized I'm gonna have to use the maid as the scapegoat. Oh, that's so terrible. She's so nice too. The maid gives you an exasperated glance as she moves some pot and pans around. She was obviously too busy for any more idle chatter. God damn it, I kinda wanted to idle chatter some more. So my idea was that I was gonna put the rat poison in the food, but I guess that won't work out so well, huh? This old stone fireplace has nothing of interest to you. One of your mother's prized golden candlesticks sits at the center of the table. It would certainly make for an elegant traditional murder weapon. Yeah, you kind of have to, what is it called? Bludger her? Or hard on the skull or something? That's a bit cruel. This is the groundskeeper cupboard. George seems to have left it open. Among the various household tools, you spot a thick length of rope. Strangulation is certainly a tried and tested method of murder, but easily identifiable and easily. I mean, it's very hard to pin on someone. I see you made it, Arran. Please forgive me. I don't stand. Your mere presence has almost given me a heart attack. Hello, Mother. Please sit down if you want to talk properly, Arran. I don't want to crane my neck longer looking up at you. How do I sit? Oh, okay. So, Arran, you finally managed to make it up here for a visit. Please tell me you aren't just here to cause trouble. Whatever do you mean? I have no idea what you mean, Mother. I am here to celebrate Father's birthday, is all. I certainly hope that is the case. This family has been through enough. Have you been up to see your sister yet? She has been going through an unusually difficult time recently. Oh yeah, it's my father's 50th birthday, and I want to commit some murder and pin it on someone. Right, that's it. Okay, so one thought is I could murder, say, my father, and then pin it on my sister. Because, obviously, he needs to be dead for the deed to kick in. Originally, I was thinking that we had to kill my sister and then put it on, like, the maid. That way, there won't be any person to have the deed to. But now I'm starting to realize that kill the father, frame the sister. Gotcha. Will she be okay? Christ, what's wrong with her this time? Oh, and what disease has she invented for herself now? She only does it for attention, you know. You shouldn't let her deceive you. You will excuse yourself if I choose to trust the doctors over your expert opinion, Arran. You could at least pretend as though you care about her. Anyway, you should go and talk to your father if you haven't already. Wish him a happy birthday. Oh, and at least try to sound like you mean it. Your mother is listening to your music. You know better than to disturb her again. Okay, so if you're wondering, there's a reason that it's been muted. Obviously copyright claims, so don't mind it. It's just old school 70s or 60s music that I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't know. The most beloved of all your mother's possessions, her rusty old gramophone, used to play all of her favorite records. You glance over your shoulder to make sure your mother isn't looking. The red book on her desk says diary on the front. Damn it, I want to read it. I don't want to take it and be like, yo, this is the evidence I got a pin. I want to read it. That's not cool. You need to make any phone calls right now. There's nothing especially notable about this fireplace. Alright. Father's downstairs, was it? The dusty old wine cellar is where your father likes to practice billiards. The laundry room is next door, and beyond that, the servants' quarters. Poor servant, she has to live in the basement. The billiards cue belonging to your father lies across the table. This could certainly serve as an unorthodox murder weapon. It's kind of hard to murder someone with it, I think. Unless you, again, smash someone's head, skull in. This antique map of Kansas City was a gift to your father from one of his distant cousins. An offshoot of the Bruce family set sails for the Americas almost 100 years ago and remained there to this day. Your father always keeps an impressive metal wine stocked in the house. Okay. No greater grief than to remember days of joy when misery is at hand. 2 pairs of shoes, freshly polished. The maid has left a wooden broom leaning against the wall. No, I will not take a broom and kill someone with that. For nothing of interest among the supplies of the maid. She doesn't even have a bed. You find nothing in these drawers but useless cleaning supplies. Maybe one of the doors leads to her bed and the others like leads outside or something. Probably not, but that's just me saying maybe. Maybe, baby. Here we go. A broken mirror sits upon the maid's desk. Odds are that it belongs to your sister and the maid has been hiding it here after accidentally breaking it. A shard of glass from the mirror would be a poetic murder weapon. Oh, that one's pinnable, right? There's nothing in these drawers but clothes belonging to the maid. How the heck can we do this? Okay, so my thought here was if we use a mirror, then maybe it could look like it was the sister. And then we would leave this mirror in the maid's room. I mean, the mirror came from the maid's room, so it already looks like the sister was trying to frame the maid, right? I think we're onto something, you guys. We're onto some murder. Merry Christmas Eve. Murder. Oh, hello, sir. What can I do for you? You seem quite distressed about something. I do? Well, I'm sure it's nothing you should trouble yourself with, sir. Your concern's my concern. Shouldn't you be helping in the kitchen? Come now, George. We've known each other many years. If something is troubling you, I want to hear about it. If you insist, sir. Ever since the new maid arrived, I feel like I'm being nudged towards early retirement. She is obviously being trained to become the new housekeeper. She is taking over my responsibility one by one. I have tried discussing the matter with your mother, but it's no use. She hasn't been herself lately either. But please, don't trouble yourself about it, sir. I probably shouldn't have said anything at all. So this new maid is something of a bully then? What's wrong with my mother? I feel like if we ask this, we can somehow pin it on the maid. But I'm more curious about the family. In what way is my mother not herself? Ever since your sister's condition has become worse, your mother has become rather cold and withdrawn. Your sister has gone through difficult spells before, but it has never affected your mother quite like this. There is a darkness that I have never seen in her before. I should say no more. Please excuse me, sir. Yep. Okay, so I guess that gave us a clue that we could pin it on the mother, but that makes no sense to me. You are in the habit of sleeping in the servant's quarter. Like, we could kill the sister and then pin it on the mother. But I don't think that's gonna fly so well. It could, but I just don't think so. I don't know yet. I'll think about it. You decide that now is not the time to be looking around, that work is to be done. Wait, where's the father? An assortment of family records and heirlooms are contained within this ornate glass cabinet. And memory sequence, even though you said there's no time for it. I don't know. Of course you do. Use that head for once, boy. Great Uncle Thomas? What initials do you see on that silverware? CB. And what kind of half-wit spells Thomas with a C? I don't know. Well, I do. It's the kind of half-wit that's standing next to me. Now, which of your ancestors owned that silver chalice? If you get this one wrong, there will be serious consequences, boy. Did I get a spanking? I'll say one thing for my father. His style of parenting has always been consistent. There's something on this old lectern. You managed to force open the locked drawer of the writing desk. Inside you find pages of poetry penned in your sister's handwriting. They seem to be love letters, penned to an unidentified female. For the description, you would guess it's new maid. Interesting. Alright, if that's the case, then I cannot kill the sister and pin it on the maid because they have a secret lovers affair thing going on. This is tough. Okay, let's look for the father. I forgot where they said father was. I haven't found him yet. Maybe it's up here. There he is. Even now, the familiar, musty smell of your father's library fills you with dread as you step inside. You have too many bad memories of this room. Your father's best friend, a hunting dog named Beastie. The dog looks at you for a moment, then walks away when it realizes you have no food. Alright, so this is gonna be a lot tougher than I thought. He has a dog. How the hell do I do this? These shows are level arts and culture. British history. This is a hefty tome of British family history. You feel sleepy just looking at it. Hello, father. Your father remains silent for several moments in a chill seems to pass through the library. When I finally speak, it is in a quiet and bitter tone. You told me you never entered this house again, boy. Why are you here? Yeah. It's obvious why I am here. I want to put all that unpleasantness behind us and wish you a happy 50th birthday. Happy? You honestly think this is a happy day for me? Another day where I can watch my life's work crumble into nothing. Another day to see our bloodline slit its own throat. You know how to make me happy. Move back to Dunshire. Take your proper place and do your damn duty. You have to let me live my own life. I refuse to move back here and suffer your abuse. I will consider it if my sister is put into care. It's too late, father. I have my own life now. My own family. My own home, I mean. My own job. Damn them both to hell. Do you think your pathetic little life really means anything? You are the last of a noble dynasty that stretches back hundreds of years. What does your life mean next to that? Everything. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were a boy. Obviously, I didn't give you enough discipline as a child. If you can't be civil, take my leave. Oh, you beat me plenty, I remember. Perhaps you're the one who needs some discipline. Oh, great, I'm so salty now. I mean, he does have a point. He wants me to carry the bloodline, but... Oh well, let's be salty. You gave me dozens of beatings, father. I remember every single one of them. Did you ever consider trying another method, perhaps? Not for a moment. You were always a snide little weasel. The best I could do was to beat some of it out of you. You should be thanking me for it, not trying to condemn you. I think I have heard enough from you. Get out of here. And I went away. It's not exactly his fault. He just was a terrible person. But he just wanted to carry on the family life because his father probably did the same to him, and all that jazz and stuff and whatever. Oh, one of the items sends a shiver through your bones. The cruel leather toss your father used to beat you with when you were a child. Not really. Get away, boy. That chair's for the dog. Oh, God. Alright, so we've been through everywhere, and we now have to figure out how we want to pin out to murder. God. Doesn't provide a soft glow. No, I do not want that. Okay. So, maybe if we use Georgie, we use the rat poison. Yes, poison is a nice clean weapon, at least in all those murder stories you used to read. Oh god, now it's too cliche. Okay, I was thinking if we use rat poison, and then we use the rat poison, try and poison the maid, but actually poison the father, then it will look like Georgie tried to kill the maid, but accidentally killed the father. No, then the deed still goes to the sister. Okay, that doesn't work out. No. Oh god. I feel like the only thing pinnable is, unless we could kill those two. Nah, I don't really know. This is just somehow frame Georgie. I know he's my boy and all, but I'm a demon and I'm in it for myself. Dude, there's nothing in Georgie's room I can take. I already messed up. Oh no. Oh god. The other one was the mother. The mother is going nuts from the sister. But how can we use the mother to be framed? Alright, let's take her diary. Yeah. I hate that shift button! Again, a bell invites me, this time to dinner, it seems. Dinner is served. Chef button, why do you skip everything? I wanted to read her diary. Sophia, could you come here a moment? Yes, ma'am. Pour me some more wine. Yes, ma'am. But, madame. Oh, what is it, George? I must protest. It has always been my duty to pour the wine at dinner. Oh, well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being over pedantic. But don't you think you've had enough, Mother? Do you let the staff speak to you like that? Come on, let George pour the wine. He just wants to look down your dress. Oh my god, why am I so... There. Last option. Don't you think you've had enough, Mother? I must say this, because this will at least make me like George. Careful, Mother. If you drink much more, you might end up embarrassing yourself. Arran. What a rude little rat you are. That's enough out of you. How dare you insult your mother? An interfering little rat, isn't he, Daddy? Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut, boy? Perhaps I did speak out of turn. I apologize. No, don't lose your temper. Maybe you're the one who needs to shut his mouth. Well, we started off trying to say, hey, Dad, let's let bygones be bygones, so let's keep that tone going on. You're right, I'm sorry. Must have had too much of wine myself. You better not let it happen again. Sophia, could you come here, please? Yes, Miss Jennifer. I just wanted to say that was the loveliest meal I've ever tasted. I don't know how you could do it, you cunning pixie. You are too kind, miss. Of course, I will have tea and cake for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. Oh, you are so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. None of me, I'm full. I wouldn't mind some of your hotcakes. Would you stop flirting with each other? Sophia isn't interested in your sister. Alright. I'll just let them be them. And let me be me. I won't have any, thank you. I couldn't eat another bite. Well, you weren't offered any, so there. Please, Jennifer, let's all try and be civil. Anyway, let's not forget why we are here today. To celebrate your father's birthday, such a very important occasion for us all. You are so dear to us, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Daddy. Indeed, happy birthday, Father. Let's hope it will be one to remember. Doing the deed. Now it is time for some blah blah. Quickly plan any items of evidence you have. To do so, simply enter the desired room and select the item in your inventory. When you are ready, enter the drawing room to do the deed. Alright. What do I have again? They tell me that Jennifer's condition is likely to only get worse. I don't know how I can go on this way. Sometimes I wish she has never been born. And it goes on. Yes, these 2 pages alone should raise some suspicion about your mother. Do you want to plant the evidence in this room? Nah. Okay, we also got rat poison, but nah. How do we do this? How do we do Alright. So my plan is to let the father stay alive, but then pin it on my mother and kill my sister. Wrong room. Alright. Sister's room? Sister's room. Sister's room. Can we save? Okay. Because I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, because I want to poison the sister. This is a weapon, not a piece of evidence. You may need it. Okay. Gotcha. Yes. You decide that your sister's wardrobe is the ideal location to plant some evidence. The police will definitely search this room thoroughly. Okay. And now we gotta poison her. How do we poison you? My sister! Where's sister? No, that's not sister. Once inside, there's no turning back. My sister! How do we do the weapon? Okay, so I guess that that's all I can do. You see Jennifer staring out of the window ahead of you, lost in one of her strange moods. She hasn't noticed you entering the room. Now is the time. This is a weapon, not a piece of evidence. How do I use it? The silent weapon of an intelligent killer. Sprinkle over the cakes. It takes a rat. I got an achievement unlocked. That's what it said. Sprinkle over the cakes on the table. It could easily be mistaken for a frosting of sugar. Having added a generous portion of your special topping to the cake, you step back into the shadows and watch to make sure she eats them. Sure enough, she soon turns to the plate and devours 2 of them in quick successions. The poison works surprisingly quickly. She begins to choke and her skin turns green. Finally, she falls to the ground in front of you. You examine her body to make sure she isn't breathing before placing the container of poison on the desk. The deed is done. It's time to leave this room before someone discovers it. Oh god. Oh god, I just killed my sister. What's my alibi? What's my alibi? Terrible alibi. I'll be with my mom. Hi, Mom. Okay. Oh god. Oh god, this is so suspicious. Let's just stay in my mom's... Hey, Mother. Hi, Mother. Oh, Mother. Music. La-di-da. La-di-da. Dancing to music. Yeah, with my mother. Oh damn, she coughed up poison down there. Good evening, everyone. I am Chief Inspector Winston Lewis. I understand that this is a difficult time for our family. You're damn right it is. I want to know what you're doing wasting time in here while my daughter's killer is still out there. Well, Mr. Bruce, we have found no evidence of forced entry, and nobody was seen entering or leaving the house. It would seem entirely possible, then, that the killer is in this room. What? No. That seems highly unlikely, Inspector. Perhaps it is. However, in order to follow protocol, I will have to interview each of you in turn. Mrs. Bruce, would you like to meet me in the library first? I suppose so. The interview. Thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. I'm sure this won't take long. Before we begin, I will need to search your person. Best to get those formalities out of the way. Is this really necessary? I'm afraid so. Turn around, please. Now that's out of the way. Let's move on to the interview. As you know, I have already spoken to everyone else who was present in the house at the time of your sister's death. We have also now completed our initial search of the house, but we'll get to that later. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? Oh no, I still have the diary. I only ripped the 2 pages out. First of all, we will run through all the activities since your arrival. The maid says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock and she greeted you at the door. She told me that you refused to give her your coat and she found that quite peculiar. I preferred to keep my possessions with me. I wasn't sure how long I would be staying. I knew it. I knew it was gonna bite me in the butt. Oh my god. I would say this, but clearly that's not true because we plan to stay for dinner. Can't say this because my jacket was all soaked. So I guess this is the only one that seems proper. I had a few things in my coat that I wanted to keep close to hand. My wallet, keys and such. I suppose that is reasonable. Let's move on. Later you went to speak to the maid again, which is curious. Why did you decide to visit the kitchen? To make sure my family was treating her well. I did eventually talk about the father, but at first I did ask when dinner was happening. You know? I had some concerns about the way she was being treated. My family can be hard on the new staff sometimes. That seems like a good reason. I understand the 2 of you spoke about your father and his temper. Yes, I wanted to be sure he wasn't abusing her. I had some concerns, but she set my mind at ease. That was a personal conversation. My father has a vicious temper. I wanted to make sure he wasn't making her life miserable. I see. Has he always had a temper? Yes, always. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. At that time, your mother brought up the subject of your sister's health, and you seemed quite unconcerned about it. It was not in my nature to show my concern. I was tired of hearing about my sister's health. Actually, it was my mother who was unconcerned. I can't say the last one because I don't know that she's unconcerned. I only read it in her diary. Oops, sorry. It's not in my nature to show my concern. It's one of these 2 that I want to go with. I want to say this because I want to talk about the history that I had with her. But this does make sense too. I'll say this. I was concerned. I just tend to be quite reserved in how I express it. Yes, you do seem like quite a reserved person. Fair enough. You went to see your father in the library. I understand your conversation became quite heated. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to look through the options. Stupid finger. My father has a very short temper, and many of our conversations go that way. Would you say he has a violent temper? Absolutely. I see, that's good to know. You discussed the prospect of your moving back to Dunshield. You refuse to do so under any circumstances, I understand. I can bear living on a day with my family. Of course, I have already made a life elsewhere. I may have considered it in the future. My father fails to accept the fact that I have my own life now. I can't just move back here. Of course not, that's completely understandable. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. You spoke about your mother's recent moods, yes? He seems very worried about her. I think he was just overreacting. He was just afraid of his impending retirement. These are all good ones. He seemed very worried about her. I think he was just overreacting. I feel like we did discuss about this, but at the same time we did go about for my mother. So let's say this. Yes, my mother was having a very hard time dealing with my sister's condition, apparently. It sounded like she had been pushed to breaking point. Interesting. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? No, I did not. Oh, yes, I did. I did. Yes, I went to her room to see her. I see, and what did you discuss with her? She assaulted me and I left. It was as brief as most conversations I had with my sister. She called me a rat, and not wanting to be insulted further, I soon left the room. Did that make you angry? To be honest, I was used to it from her. Let's move on to the event that took place during dinner. Apparently you made a comment about your mother's drinking habits. God damn it. For her own good, someone needed to comment. I just wanted to get under her skin, that's all. I mean, I only said that so the butler would stop being so, but I want to do it, you know? I didn't mean to get under her skin. I felt I had to say something. I thought she was drinking far too much. Do you think this has anything to do with her difficulties in coping with your sister's condition? Almost certainly. Interesting. Now, I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you when you heard the maid scream? Ground floor. I was with Mom. Was Mom's the parlor? I think so. God. I was in the parlor. Ah, yes, your mother mentioned you were in there with her. As I said earlier, we have completed our initial search of the property. During the search, we discovered some pages from your mother's diary. It seems that she was having a hard time dealing with your sister's condition. In some places, she even seems to wish for her death. Does that surprise you? Yes, I'm lost for words. I am curious about that murder weapon. The poison had apparently been sprinkled upon some cakes, which the maid had prepared. However, you almost must have passed through the pantry in order to speak to the maid in the kitchen. Of course, your sister may have done this herself if it was a suicide. It is all very interesting. I'll be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. While some of your behavior this evening has been peculiar, I can find no cause for any significant suspicion. Also, I must regard your father as a suspect even though the evidence is far too conclusive. I am slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. Sadly, I am forced to regard your mother as a primary suspect in this. Now, as for what happens next, you can go, for now. But I would appreciate it if you did not leave town. I may have more questions for you later. Although, I think I will have some more further questions for your father later. Unfortunately, I will need to arrest your mother. Mom, no! Although the inspector, a boy's best friend, achievement unlocked. And it was a picture of my mother. That was weird. Although the inspector harbored his own suspicions about you, your mother was treated as a prime suspect in the case. The evidence you had planted against her led to a trial and a swift conviction. She would be spending her life in prison for a crime she did not commit. Your father, beset by grief, turned to drink and wallowing. He died within a year and you inherited everything. Dunshio house was yours, along with the fortune that came with it. Oh, Merry Christmas to me. However, George and Sophia found themselves unable to continue serving in the place after what had happened. Oh man, this is just terrible. You spent many long sleepless nights wandering through the rooms of your house. You found that its emptiness was reflected within yourself. You had become hollow inside, free of everything but the nightmares that continue to haunt you. I killed my mom, I killed my dad, and I killed my sister. Well, that wasn't a good ending. Alright. Huh. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Well, this is really, very, very hard to do because it's like, now that we talk to everybody, if you were to try the game from new and then you choose not to talk to some of the people, then that changes the way that the investigator interrogates you with, right? But at the same time, you do want to talk to everybody because you just visited and you needed to get the ideas of things. I don't really know. I don't really know how this game is programmed. Maybe as long as you cover yourself when you get investigated by the investigator, you're good, right? I don't know. But what I do think is I should frame Sophia to kill my sister because but how can I frame her? Oh, the mirror, yeah. Alright, let's start this from new. This is my only other chance I'm gonna try. Because I'm curious as hell. It's a really clever game, I like it. It's really good. I accidentally hit play intro, god damn it. Alright, you guys. Just gotta get through these interviews and I think I'll be good. You can go for now, but I would appreciate it if you did not leave town in case of future questions. For a suicide seems unlikely, I'm afraid. Oh no, I feel like the ultimate solution to this game is if... Oh, unsolved. That's my achievement. Although the inspector harbored suspicion about you, you were not brought in for further questioning. Sophia, the maid, was taken in for questioning and initially became the prime suspect, but it was determined that there was not sufficient evidence to lead to an arrest. You had gotten away with murder scene. However, you had not given them sufficient reason to suspect anyone else either, and your father harbored suspicions of his own. Some years later, you are surprised you see his obituary in the national newspaper and horrified to learn that he had not given his estate in possession to a trust organization. You committed this foul act for nothing, and now there was nothing at all to give you comfort in the long night when the demons of your past comes to haunt you. This is tough. I don't know, guys. I'm not a murderer. It seems like the perfect solution is for her to commit suicide and then to frame it on no one except for that suicide. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I could rat poison her, and then what? What do I do with the second object for to plant? Like, I could take our underwear and put it somewhere, but how do I do that? Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, guys, what do you guys think about the deed? It's only 50 cents on Steam, so if you guys enjoy this, then do try it out for yourself. It's practically free. If you got $2 in your pocket, then you already paid for it. I think it's a well worth fun little game that's worth investing your time in. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a cool little mystery and totally suitable for Christmas. Clearly, I'm not cut to be a murderer, and I'm glad that I'm not. If you guys are, then I'm kidding. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow with a very Merry Christmas vlog. So then, guys, take care, enjoy Christmas Eve, spend some monies, or do what you gotta do, and I'll see you then. Ciao!